go. The teams are flying in. A cross-map gunfight to begin with, but nobody falls.
Yeah, Sid doesn't want to deal with those barrels either, so he's going to shoot those out. That's a spot that if players stand on the barrels, you can use the helicopter as a head glitch. Sid wants absolutely none of it, but as the opening break commences, New York still not a ton of pressure now on defense, and you're seeing the kills come around the actual B zone, but pressure on both sides. But Snoopy gets dealt with on A. All of the action now in the on.
They're just still fighting back and forth on this one. Nobody able to get anything really locked in. Boston, they had a bit of a swing, but it's a bit of a miss. And now they will have to reset and retry. New York looking to put the squeeze on.
Oh God, you're having Sid. Those are clean shots as well. Just getting the early trophy down is something that could pay off long term, but this man simply does not miss when he is on point. We certainly saw the damage output from Priesta, but I think Civ is going to be right there with them, if not ahead by a decent margin. But finally, Boston able to respond, get a little bit of pressure over towards B. Hydra taking things slow. He's by himself. Let the gunfight come to him, and he's going to get it. Always awkward around that radio tower.
I think he just missed capture. Unfortunately, Kismet did not. And now with 30 seconds left under this, Boston will want to stop this clock and get it done. They are having issues. The trade's not going for them. Sumi does find a massive 2, but it is traded again. Pressure now, elevator side.
And this should just be a free flank, no? I mean, Hydra's position, they haven't called him out in quite some time. It's all about the timing you get in the back of the base, and Snoopy able to just beat him down. So I actually have Boston, a little bit of pressure towards B, but it is one man on this point. I do not see a trophy. It is going to be a slow stack, and there's only 13 seconds left on the clock. You might be going for the spawn pills, but you've got to keep Priest still alive.
Priesta injured, just dipping and diving, trying to stay here, trying to keep this clock from moving towards its inexorable conclusion. And now more nades coming through. New York will now die for him. That second tick has not gone on, and he will fall. 11 seconds. Snoopy will have to fly into this point. He knows where the player is. Fists are flying furiously, and the trays keep coming through. Who's come out on top? It's just Slasher into the point.
And at least you get a trophy now, so the opportunity to stay alive is still there. One gunfight to seal the deal. Civ just going for the chow. That's enough for Boston to get B. An extra minute to the clock, and they have pressure on A as well. Hydra, maybe the heroics. I don't think he's going to get here in time. The double stack comes through, and still that pressure on the A side of the map. Priesta gets dealt with. But in all of that frenzy, Boston at least had a minute to the clock, but it is an even life count just about as well. Maybe a +2 in the column as Hydra reads the flank, but this is a round that almost certainly is just going to get decided on kills.
Yeah, I mean, there's been so many just frantic battles going on. I think there's been more beatdowns in this first 2 minutes than they have for the rest of the game. And still, the pressure is unrelenting. Boston keep trying to push the envelope here, but they have 1 life less and 32 seconds to do this.
Yeah, because of Sky's positioning, he's actually going to be slowing the pace down to Boston quite a bit, or at least make him scattered. You see Snoopy looking at his own spawn because they know Skies is going to make his move at some point. And of course, while you're trying to hunt this player down, you're just running out of time. Finally, Skies is going to fall, but 15 seconds left without any respawns remaining. New York looking like they are in prime position, and Snoopy just simply cannot find these players.
4 versus 2, but Slasher's the wrong side. He basically just has to run into the open and take this death on the chin. He isn't going to get across forward, and there is no hope in the end. New York, hold on.
Yeah, I mean, look, a couple good opportunities to roll through, but eventually New York, I mean, stabilize might be too strong of a word, but I think really once Skies gets behind enemy lines, goes for like, 1 or 2 spawn kills, but then just slows the pace down because, again, the time was the biggest enemy right there in that round for Boston Breach. So a very solid attempt on that first attacking round, but an L is an L. New York, small advantage going into round 2.
Oh. Could have been a lot worse, though, for Boston. And now they'll be trying to do the exact same thing to New York. They do not want to let them in here, even for a second. Civil already. Oh, my goodness, 2 fallen already. Fortunately, Priesta is locking this down.
He's going to need to continue to do so. Yeah, it doesn't last long. It was down to 18 HP. Skies just love taps him with the bullet, ends his life. And now up top on the cross, Capsule doing some damage, but that is going to be 2 players from New York around the point. And Hydra, again, S&D and sometimes in Respawn, that island player, you see on the minimap, Hydra has found his way to get to the enemy's base, so he is an opening for some spawn kills. And there's going to be the 2 freebies. That's a clean 4 down, and here we go.
The Phenom He's ready to see how many he can get here, but it's none. Snoopy instantly counters, gets him back, but Sib is ready for them as well. Slasher will have to go for the chow, but he doesn't. And New York are trying to take everything at once. The second tick is B is up. The first tick on A as well. They have to break this.
Yeah, and only one man has made it through this setup. That's going to be Capsule. He actually does win the gunfight to get the guy out of the point, and there's a clean 4 down on the other side. So able to breathe, able to get a little bit of map pressure. New York Subliners, they want to be quick off spawn, though, to keep that pedal to the metal. You do not want Boston to get set up.
They bought themselves a little bit of time, but they really want B locked in to give them that extra minute. And they have the advantage in lives at the moment. Kismet just playing so patient. Finds one, finds almost a second, but that'll be called out. Sib's going to die for this. Should have an easy kill in his hands. More players at elevator's side, and Boston are committing to try and hold the elevators. It's still not working though, because B's gone.
Oh, and Slasher's going to have another freebie. You might get B, but still, it is just players in your base you're going to be concerned about. So spawn kills on one side, no longer. Sib wins the one-on-one gunfight. Now it might be spawn kills on the other. So much pressure in the bases of both of these teams. Everybody belly down, and Sib certainly got spotted. Priest is there to chop him down. But as long as New York have players around this 50-yard line, potential on the offensive round always going to exist.
Another low run. Skies, we're hoping nobody is watching. And he's going to get great timing as well. Everybody falls, finds Priester laying down, but no, doesn't get the kill. Priester gets away for just a few seconds. Snoopy, will he fall? No! This is just the closest of margins here for both these two teams. Boston managed to get the kills they need to break out of that trap again.
And keep in mind, for Boston, only 8 lives remaining, so I know the time is ticking, but they cannot afford to give away any freebie kills, and Sib is there to pick up 2. Both the SMG players immediately fall. Now you have to be very stringent, very careful with these final lives that you are playing with. A couple kills do go their way. You have New York Subliners running out of time. Almost run out of respawns is Boston. This is going to be a very delicate round.
The best thing here for Boston is lives almost don't matter. If they could just rebuff them one more time, if they can just put them back to the sea, they will have this opportunity. Hydro finds Capsule. Priester is dancing, sees a low one, and Priester Slasher finds another one. And with only 4 lives remaining, it's not really going to matter, surely. Hydra is fighting for his life. He finds Snoopy. They get onto the point. This is not what Boston wanted. The gunning is coming through, and Boston had it in the palm of their hand, but it goes down to the toilet. How on earth Boston have been defeated by a kill by Hydra opening the floodgates?
I mean, look, man, it's the battle of the clock versus the battle of just the life column right there. But of course, Subliners can just do that oh so sweet thing, stand on the objective, and time is no longer a factor. You hit a pause, you buy everyone so much more wiggle room to make big plays, and Hydra and the Subliners absolutely deliver. 2 nail-biter rounds, but Subliners come out on top of both of them. In Boston, if they weren't feeling the pressure before the series, they are certainly feeling that pressure now.
And they're going to be a little bit sick about that. So close to getting it, just a trade or 2 their way, and that clock would have gone. And for New York now, all they must do is be resolute in this defense. That hasn't gone their way straight away.
Nice shots, though, coming out from Skies to get the damage done. Not going to be enough, though. You had Boston off the opening break. You saw how passive they were playing, almost letting Subliners go into the setup. And again, 100 angles you have to watch. Able to take a few players down. 2 players on the point. Or actually, no, Priest is down low. So again, Boston, it is consistent. It is a very slow capture they're working with.
Capsule just staying alive, though. The best part of this is that clock does not move. Gives you an opportunity. Capsule tries to stay alive, but with 5 health, he isn't going to be able to. And for Boston, this isn't really about ticks. They have to win this round or they lose the entire map. There's a different spin on things. They have to be careful every single step of this.
Oh, this is also dire. They are completely pinned in the back of their base. A couple gunfights window, maybe to get out, but I mean, Hydra's down low looking for some spawn kills, and Snoopy trying to cross gets cut by Skies over in the helicopter. So you are still right back to square one. Effectively stuck in your base, though. A great nade from Sib, if you're a Boston fan, though, takes down Hydra. And maybe a breath of fresh air right now for Boston, who can start making moves. Priest is the most aggressive on the minimap. Made it nearly behind enemy lines, but Boston again running out of time.
Priester must make these kills. Falls to Hydra. Already they're trying to get on it. Slasher must make a move as well. Capsule has got one. He's got his back. And Slasher, that is huge. That clock has been stopped. They are now onto both points. Breathe for Boston as they manage to just stop everything falling apart And look at this, Priest are opening up the floodgates of kills. Sib will find one as well, but they are doing the business that they need at the moment.
Yeah, Slasher guess is wrong though, so Sib able to stay alive, but at least you do enough to get that B zone. And you get an extra minute to the clock, but that is still basically just above a minute that you were working with for this time. Nice catch though for Priesta. That's another 2 down. Make it 3 in the feed. Last man standing is Skies. They have no idea where he's at. Cheeky spot outside of blue. Capsule is going to find him. You've cleared out your base. Now you get the pressure on A.
They might have this as well. Capsule is going to fall to Hydra. Slasher will get his back as well, though. Both teams now committing to this. There is a flank coming in as well. Snoopy is behind enemy lines. Finds Skies. But is that going to be enough? Already the traders come through. New York have the advantage in terms of map control.
I mean, they're just able to consistently get guys out of the base. The spawn kills have never been on point. Hydra doesn't get spotted either. Capsule letting someone through, but he's gotten through himself, and there's another 3 in the feed, but the man that didn't get spotted as Hydra, that's going to be the guy behind enemy lines. Is Capsule. Well, this is prime time to shine. Got to get a couple before you fall.
They haven't seen Hydra either. They're worried about it. Capsule's going to get one off the respawn here. And look for it. Hydra finds the first. Has he slowed them enough? That third tick he's moving. Hydra will have to commit to this regardless. The health comes back. He dies. And Boston have got the bodies into this with Skies with a clutch kill. The tick was a breath away. And Boston, they thought they had it. They now one more chance, one more time to get into this.
Yeah, welcome to your round of S&D. That's where the Subliners came out on top last time, but this time it is trades back and forth. No respawns remaining. The 3 players have to clutch and now make it 2. Hydra and Civ by his lonesome. A 1 versus 3. Too many directions to look. And my God, high-rise control is a spicy map right now between these two teams. Every single round, an absolute nail-biter. Teams on offense pumping that pressure up. And we just saw that stat line from Slasher. He's 4,300 damage in already. And we're just now going into round 4.
Every single round feels like a bloodbath. Stress rolling off these players in waves. No smiles either side. For New York, thought they might have had it. For Boston, no, they must have it again.
You gotta say, the Beamer by Civ almost unmatched in the CDL. Just getting those cross-map kills, the damage on point, makes your life a little bit easier on these opening breaks. And I mean, Kismet turns that into the next one. New York Subliners maybe not wasting any time on this one. Nice angle low from Cap. You got to work on those jump ups in a private lobby. He does, but he ends up getting traded. You're still getting the pressure on B, but keep in mind, this is a 2-front war. Sib is working on A as well, so Boston, right now, they are going to be feeling the heat.
Capsule, though, moving. Looking for this one. Gets across, and he's going to be found out. Unfortunately, nobody there to keep him safe. Nade's flying through. Should be another trophy there for it as well. Kismet and Skies all looking one direction. They're just trying to get this B locked in, so they have a long time on A.
This is just shaping up to be dominance as well. Snoopy more than likely going to get traded through a wall potentially. Actually, it stays alive for a bit, but this is the most either one of these teams has had to work with on an offensive round. And if you have more time to play with, you can be a little bit smarter. Kismet knows 2 players in the mid window. He's waiting for his timing to get the kill, but the Patience, it looks like Boston. Patience Priesta out on top in this one. Hydra, you got to make sure you trade him. He's able to get 2 before he falls, but still a square up towards the middle of the map. These 2 teams getting after it again.
You have to give full credit to Boston there. They didn't panic, they didn't flap, they waited. They found the kills and then they moved. They knew it was a slow cap on the way. And this has given them back map control. New York now will have to fight their way all the way through. Again, you can see they've sent players underground. That surely will be found out.
I mean, look, this is the 7th or 8th attempt we've seen by either SMG on both teams to try to set up for them spawn kills, and neither team has had a player be overly successful. And of course, if Hydra's in this spot, it's only 1 player off spawn right now that he even gets to kill. He finds the 1, but his teammates are dying, so that just means Boston are able to push up on the map on defense. So Hydra effectively useless, knows he needs to get in the picture, because if he stays in the spawn, it's just going to be him versus Snoopy. Now Slasher might get added to the pile.
Nobody's really doing anything right now, but Hydra will find Snoopy again. That is frustrating, but Capsule is killing his teammates. Priesta finds him as well. All that Hydra work, it has been for nothing. And now, New York are buried back in their spawn.
And 12 versus 9 on the life count. Subliners with 45 seconds left. They get one truly good push, two scattered ones. So they're trying to set up very patiently, sniff these players out. But I think Slasher's doing the sniffing, able to pick up Skies in that moment. Hydra would have been the next in line, but clean shots. It is just trades, though, back and forth, and every trade is a massive advantage for Boston. And if you can't trade them, what's the point of even trying to deal with it? 8v6, 20 seconds left. New York, now they just have to fly.
New York have lives. All they don't have is time. That clock, again, it is champion. It is undefeated. Over and over again, Priester will find Sib. Down you fall, my friend. And New York, you're in the respawn. There is no jetpack, no speed boost for this one. We're going to a round 5 on the control.
And Bryce, you talk about the swing game mode for this control as well. This could be everything right now for Boston. This could be, again, winner's bracket if they win this series. They'll need an extra map after this, but you do not want to be down against the Subliners. This round 5 could be a massive benefit, not just for winner's bracket, but also keep in mind for the year. Early CDL points go such a long way, especially for teams that are right on that bubble, and that is exactly where Boston is in this moment. Round 5, get those opening strats out, get ready to go. We might have a square up off the rip. Sib's been challenged. It's also a question of who's going to end up on offense or defense. Boston, they pull the defense for the final round.
Buckle in, baby. It's about to get wild. Every single round has been a screamer so far. Let's see how this final one goes. New York looking to bury this that they could have done 2 rounds ago, but the trades are still in abundance. An early, quick cap for New York, but they get off it. There's not the trophies down. He had to leave.
Yeah, and it's just that constant idea of trying to get guys in the right positions to set up for the kills. And there's 2 down for the New York Subliners. A little bit of pressure on. And Priest, by the way, in this moment, I was going to say behind enemy lines, but he's also on a force spree. So a cruise missile could be devastating on this map. But right now, Subliners have dealt with everything. They get the player on beat. You get Kismet at the spawn. You get ARs in the power positions. Now it's just about the kills. They're chasing Ghost right now, and Kismet can only turn it to 1 for the moment. New York Subliners are flooding your spawn.
Kismet's moving fast. One player has got out. Snoopy's trying to do something on the other side of the map, but down he goes. New York full control. But Boston, all in their spawn. B is a distant memory for them now. It's all about the recovery. They have to make these trades to get out towards A. They cannot allow the pressure to keep building. And Snoopy and Slasher combine. They have broken the deadlock. B will fall to New York, but that's all it will be.
Well, still, though, that stranglehold they just had on your spawns, you might only capture B in this moment, but they've just opened a massive door potentially just to win this round on live. So if you're New York Subliners, you push the pace. You fly at the enemy and you just go for the kills, and if you get the 4 down, you can jump the point, but you just want to drain these lives. Boston down just to 14.
All of Boston are out. Kismet has been made useless. The Sid now wants to stay alive, does not want to allow Boston to do the same to them that they just did to them. Sid finds Priester, still doing this. Kismet hasn't been involved for about 25 seconds. Eventually finds Slasher as well, and the tide turns. Snoopy has to do something big here, but he falls to Skies. And Boston back in their spawn, must now rally again.
And look, man, I'm telling you, it is the life right now versus just the game clock. So if New York Subliners can stop it just for a little bit, every single kill at this point in the game is massive. Priesta, again, though, wins his ones. Boston delicate in these moments. Slasher gets the next one as well, but the pressure right now on the point. Sib is there. He's going to get traded. Next man in line is going to be Kismet, and he's forced to back down. That game clock is ticking. Just under a minute, but for Boston, 9 lives.
Capsule has gone rogue. A full flank from him all the way through as they just try to make sure they cannot stop this clock. The lives are bleeding for Boston. 7 remain. 40 seconds. Slasher may get caught here. Hydra will find him. He has stopped the clock. 6 lives now for Boston. There's surely no way back for them as New York. They dive the point. Snoopy has no health. Priester will find a kill. But with 5 lives left, surely New York can't lose this. It's a rocket. Snoopy has to fly. He has to be amazing here in this point. Many players just putting all guns onto it. Capsule finds a kill. Hydra's still alive as well. Both teams, it's a banger, and somehow it's still going.
No respawns remaining though, and Hydra going on the deepest of flanks. They've read it so many times, but he gets one here, and that might just seal the round. Slasher turns though, so your heads up for the flank. 20 seconds left on the clock. You gotta win the gunfight. Slasher wins his. Snoopy out of the picture. 3 lives remaining. 15 on the clock.
New York, you had everything to play for, but 11 seconds to destiny. And Sky's looking for an opportunity, but they won't give it to him. They won't allow them. Slasher finds 2. Hydra dies for the hero play, but it's 4 versus 3 with 3 seconds to go, and Boston holds.